Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the day of the video. Darren, how's a good day? Today, we're back from work. It's the afternoon, and I'm waiting for Laura. Laura's already on a bus though, so I'm losing time. I don't know why I'm losing time. My video yesterday was my video longer because what I do is I wait for my video to finish and then I upload it, and now it's currently uploading. I've done the descriptions and stuff, and I just either way, I'm running behind time a little bit, but I'm not going to get much programming time before Laura gets back anyway, because she's actually left on time today and she's already on a bus, so we're out of luck, goddammit. Otherwise, today I woke up and I was feeling Christmassy today, and it's official. In my mind, it's officially Christmas. We are just churning out the week at this point. I just woke up feeling festive, feeling ready to rock and roll. Basically, it's like the Friday feeling, you know, on a Friday. Every day's a Friday, but you get the Friday feeling and then times it by 2 is Christmas. So anyway, rolled on to work, next to no traffic because it's Christmas. To work, and to be honest with you, the amount of interesting things going on at work is dwindling. People are starting to leave. There's less code reviews to do. There's just less work to do because we're coming to the end of the sprint. There's not much in this sprint because I think it was naturally a relatively quiet sprint because of Christmas, but being in December and no one being around. But that was made worse by the fact that everyone kind of finished all their stuff before normal as well. I think it was a sprint where we were put in for the first time. A load of new people were just put into it, and I think they either underestimated us or underestimated the work we were going to do, one or the other, and now we're running out. And basically I've been working on a project that is outside of the sprint for a while, which is my bug thing. I fixed the bug that I fixed the other day and ran it and got 1,000 errors. Ran it on the build server and only got 2 unexpected errors. 3 expected because my tests changed, broken, which I was expecting those. So that was weird, and I was going through today trying to fix them, and that's what I was doing all day, trying to fix those 2 tests. I fixed one of them with relative ease. The other one is a 500 line integration test, which essentially simulates in a month and runs a fuckload of processes, asserts a fuckload of things at a load of different points, and I'm trying to change the test so that it's passing in, because previously it didn't have to be comply with a certain rule to get through. Now I'm trying to make it comply with that rule, yet also not change the tests too much by only changing the data that's putting through it and making sure it tests the same thing. Also, what the fuck does it test? Because it's huge. I don't bloody well know. It's really hard. It's really annoying, and it's really tedious. So it's difficult to be motivated for it. Otherwise, that's that. I was then adding on my kill method to my process handler, which is what I'm currently working on. I've decided I'm going to implement it in there and then let the dispose... relatively dangerous this. Basically, the dispose method will just delete all the objects. The kill method will actually kill the underlying running processes, and that is being called externally from the dispose. It gets called first. It gets called by the thing that calls dispose. So, or in the usual running scope of the program, which is a decision, but it's a decision because of the position of where dispose is. I can't really test it very well because it's basically like a proxy class around something that involves having to have a running process running. So I'm doing it one step back, and I think it makes sense because essentially I've got a way that you talk to processes now. You spin one up and then you spin one up and it runs one in a proxy and it gives you a handler, and the handler you either wait for the results asynchronously or you kill it. They're your options basically, and then it manages giving you the results back in a nice... So I've basically created a facade for the running process, and I've added this kill method on the facade rather than on the process itself. That's basically what I'm saying. But yeah, so I'm currently unit testing that. I realised that I didn't unit test the running of the process, so I'm just adding some tests around that now. I believe that's because I didn't have the proxy originally when that class was first made. Or I got excited running the process and forgot. I don't have XUnit. Something goes wrong when I try and run code coverage analysis. It's really fucking irritating. So, because I really want to know what my code coverage is. but I can't see it. So, I like XUnit, but I do miss using MS Test. And to be honest with you, like, I kind of wish I did use MS Test, because since I'm not using XUnit's asserts anyway, I'm using Shudley instead. Like, I could just use Shudley and MS Test, and then the only thing I didn't really like about MS Test was two things. Was the assertions, which I can replace with Shudley, and the fact that you can't do... I've got my glasses, that's what I came in here for. And that you can't do data-driven tests, which I have a couple of. Not many, but I have a couple. But yeah, so XUnit is just a little bit harder because, like, it's not built by... Essentially, it's not built by Microsoft, so it's like I'm at the whim of however good this third-party piece of software is, and I mean, they don't seem to be... they seem to be struggling in the .NET Core aspects of it. But anyway, that's by the by. I'm going to see if I can get some programming done before Laura gets back. We're going to be cooking burgers for dinner tonight. We haven't had burgers in fucking ages. We're well excited, because it's going to basically be a bit like having a barbecue, but at home, on a skillet thing. And then we're going to go out for a walk later, because we've got not much else to do. Got to do a whites wash though. Thanks for reminding me. I need to put a whites wash on, and then yeah, we're going to basically be working. Where's the whites wash? Has Laura already put it on? Or should she put it in there to, like, remind me? Oh no, because I know why it'll be. Yeah, there it is. Because she didn't... I'd said, like, if you've got any whites, put them with the wash, or if there are things that don't want to go in, then let me know. And she obviously found it easier just to put them in. So, I assume she hasn't put a tablet in there, otherwise it's going to be very, very clean. Which isn't a bad thing, is it? So, anyway, I'll leave that running. I'm going to go get as much code done as I possibly can before Laura gets back. Yeah. Well, I've got so many lights on. God damn it. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a party in the park. What a day. I'm heading to bed. It's been a while since I've stayed up past 12 o'clock. To be honest with you, I wasn't planning on staying up until 12, but then I stayed up a little bit later. I've been trying to go to bed at 12 o'clock because I think if I go to bed much after 12, I burn out a little bit. Slash, I haven't really been like if I'm not like in the weeds doing something, I'll head to bed at 12. Whereas, yeah, so that's been my plan. What's gone on? Laura came back and we headed straight on out for a walk instead of going after dinner. I needed to go up to the post office to go and get some post, which got delivered but didn't get delivered. Dad sent a Christmas card that didn't have the right stamp on it, so I went up and got it back from the post office. We then, what did we do? We then came back here and sorted out dinner, which was burgers and chips, which was delicious. God, I haven't had burgers in so long. I thought it was lovely. Burgers, and then we sat about, we did a bit of programming. Myself and Laura did some internet shopping. Apparently the sales have started already. It's not even after Christmas yet. I'll have to have a look at that, to be fair. Although I don't think I need anything in my little life. Then, what after that? While we were doing that, I was doing programming, I watched a bit of Doctor Who, and then we both watched, it's on Netflix, Dirk Windley? Something detective thing? It's based off a Douglas Adams book. I've forgotten his name though. Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency, which is pretty good. Watched the first episode of it. I'm a fan of like that style of thing. Douglas Adams' style of stuff, like from The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy and all that kind of stuff. The books are great. And this looks like it's going to do the books justice, although I haven't read these books, if they are books. But anyway, I think they are. But yeah, so we watched that and then went off and did some more programming. Like I say, I was just trying to like thread things through. I realised I've done a bit of cleaning up because I did some work in an area where when I first did it, I was obviously smoking something because I did something really weird where like I was passing a dependency into a DTO. So every time I wanted to create an instance of that DTO to be passed around, I had to either I had to have that dependency injected into the object that was going to use it, just because it was fucked up. Basically, the DTO's designed to take command line arguments in a working directory, and the working directory defaults to the current working directory. And I was doing that in the DTO, so I was pushing in the dependency needed to do it into the DTO, which meant every time you wanted to construct it, you'd have one, which wasn't ideal in the slightest. So I moved that out and put it onto the thing that's consuming the DTO. That will either default it if it hasn't got a value, or use it if it has. But yeah, there's that, and then otherwise I hit, and this is why I say that a little bit later, I hit a problem because I realised that I have like a circular dependency, because it goes through like 4 or 5 different things, because I'm having a process referring to something which refers to the process factory, and it cycles. So I had to figure out a way of getting around that, and basically what I was doing was I was having the kill command on the process handler, which is the same thing that gets back the results from a running process. However, I've moved it back onto the process helper, and the process helper is the thing that creates the process in the first place, and that was partially what was causing my loop. So I have the ability, what I basically do is I go to the process helper and I say, hey, run me this process, and I pass it that DTR I was talking about. It goes off, it builds a process, and it builds a process handler. The process gets started, the handler wraps around it, and then the handler is given back to the user of that thing, and then the handler will go, has a method on it so that you can asynchronously wait for the result. And it also has some stuff to do with, there is some stuff on there for like an exited process, so as soon as it becomes an exited process, you can get the results off it, then it opens up the results itself, or something like that. It's late, can't really remember. Yeah, it does. There's some fancy stuff. Oh, that might be on the no, sorry, I'm confusing that and the process proxy, which has an interface for exited. It has a different interface when it's exited, because at that point you can actually get the results from it. Anyway, what we're talking about here. So basically, the compiler or test runner will go through, and for each test thing that it needs to run, it will generate a test process, and now back this handler. Now the handler is basically an asynchronous wrapper around this running process. So the process runs in the background, I then grab the handlers that can be used to get the results back, and I wait for them all to reply. This is a bit like this outer edges I haven't done, I've done like the nitty gritty bit. So I wait for it to return. At the moment it's like defaulted to a minute. If it doesn't return, then I go through them all and figure out if each and every single one's exited. So I'll go through and go, oh, that one passed. So say if you have like 10 test projects and one of them infinite looped, I'll get the results for 9 of them, but the last one I don't get any results, which is a part of the problem with using this style of test runner rather than the ones I wanted to use, which I've been trying to do for 6 weeks and haven't been able to do. So it'll sit there and it will wait for all of them to finish. If one of them doesn't finish, or whatever, it will go through them, each and every single one, and go, did you finish, did you finish, did you finish? If it didn't finish, it takes that process ID and then goes off and creates a new process, command line process, which goes back to the process helper, which is called kill process. I pass it the process, it gets the ID, it gets the path to a script, runs the script, waits for the response, and then dumps back. That's like a synchronous, like, kill it. And then it will call the dispose methods and dispose of everything underneath it. And it works. I had a small area, a small issue where I was causing an infinite loop, because I had, not an infinite loop, sorry, I was throwing an exception because I was checking, because it's a child process, I was checking the, if a process had exited and I'd already disposed of it using the script, so that was causing me an error. Fixed that error, and then boom, we're happy, ladies and gentlemen. I've watched it, I created an infinite loop, hit it in, sat there, waited for a minute, it picked it up and it went bam bam bam, killed it, and here's the results. The results weren't useful at the moment, which is good, so problem solved. The things I now have to do is I have to test like the outer edge, like the test runner layer. So basically like the process of waiting for all those results is quite difficult to test that. in depth. So I've got to figure out how to do that, and I also need to figure out how I can signify what's happened to these tests that I didn't get the results back from, because I don't know how many tests there are. Like, I don't know shit apart from the fact it ran over. So I need to figure out a way of translating that failure into something that is useful to the program, so the program can go, that timed out. So I need to do that, and then I need to go through and make sure, because I don't have code coverage, which I think I was talking about earlier, I need to go through and make sure that I've covered everything and I haven't left anything off, and tidy up, because I need to figure out what I've done. I've got like a couple of loose threads where I was trying the old way, with the old compiled test runners and all that kind of shit. But in short, it's good. It's good, ladies and gentlemen. Either way, I'm going to call it now. It's 1 o'clock, so I'm going to head off to bed. Thank you very much for watching this video. Today, by the way, it's Wednesday. I've already done 9.5 hours of programming on this project this week, so we're on fire. What is that? That's a full day's work and 2 hours overtime. I've basically done 4 full days work and 2 hours overtime in only 3 days. That's pretty impressive. I'm proud of that. But yeah, so it's good fun. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching this video. I'm going to go to bed because otherwise I'm going to be fucking tired tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to be quite busy. We're planning on going to the gym. And we are also, Laura's going to start packing and stuff to go flying around at Christmas. Oh dear. So, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know if I'm doing anything with reference to that, because I think I'm doing most of my stuff Friday. I'm kind of like, Friday's a bit of a dead day for programming work for me, because I've got to sort out the car, got to sort out Graham, etc. So, we're going to be busy. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. I'll catch you later.